This makes us ask a very simple question. How much glory do we want to give to God? Do we want to give him some glory, a lot of glory, or do we want to give God maximum glory? This has everything to do with world evangelization. When you and I are there with people from every tongue, every tribe, and every nation, then and only then will our Father receive the greatest glory possible for mankind on the face of the earth. The true driving motivation for world evangelization is to bring our Father the greatest glory. This is the story of the Bible, not stories like David and Goliath, Daniel and the lion's den. You know the stories. But the story, one comprehensive story that started in Genesis and weaves its way all the way through the Bible to the book of Revelation. Today, I want to challenge you to read your Bible differently, as one book, with one introduction, one story, and one conclusion. The key to understanding the introduction to the Bible is found in Genesis chapter 11 and verse 1. At that point in time in history, there is no us and them mentality. Everybody's an us. There's only one language group, one people group, one culture. There's a potential for God to receive glory, but not maximum glory. The story starts out in Genesis chapter 12, where God makes a promise to Abraham. That promise has two parts: God's desire to bless him and God's desire to have him be a blessing to all the people groups that he began at the Tower of Babel. The top line of the covenant is that God does want to bless us. And the bottom line of the covenant is that he wants us to be a blessing to the thems of the world. This top line, bottom line theme runs all the way through scriptures like a set of train tracks. There's one rail, that's the top line, and there's another rail that's like the bottom line. And this set of train tracks, like we say, runs all the way through scriptures, but over the long distance forms into one. Anything that's highlighted in my Bible is a reference to the bottom line. If you see a highlight, it references the bottom line, and you'll see it runs rampant throughout the Old Testament. Jesus broke the entire scriptures down into two parts: the top line of the covenant and the bottom line of the covenant. We find the end of the story in Revelation chapter 5, verse 9. What God sets out in the beginning of the Bible to do, through a promise to Abraham, to redeem people of every tongue, every tribe, and every nation, he fulfills it in Revelation chapter 5, verse 9. If we were to take missions out of the Bible, we'd have very little left to study. Your Bible is meant to be read as one book, with one introduction, one story, one conclusion. All of it pointing to the revelation of God's greatest glory.